Hello and welcome to BIZ, your work life sorted. I'm Em Burnham.
And I'm Lisa Lee.
And we are back.
Yes, we're back.
A fresh new season just for you. We are going to stick right into it because today on this episode, we are talking about something that's a little bit confronting.
Yes, and it keeps coming up. We were just talking about it before. I was chatting to a friend this week and she said to me, I just don't get it. Like, I'm flat out every single day, but I still feel stuck. Like, I still feel like I'm not moving anything forward.
Yeah.
And I feel like so many people are in this spot right now. So many people talk about being busy.
There's been so many times where I set up my to-do list in the morning and I'll tick everything on the to-do list and I haven't gotten anything done. And Lisa, why is this happening to me?
I know it because for a long time that was the move, right? Like we stay busy. We were taught to be helpful, be reliable and just get shit done.
Yeah.
But the shift we're seeing now is pretty undeniable.
Yeah. So on today's episode, we are going to be breaking down why effort isn't the same as value anymore. Oh my God. It's like you're speaking right to me. And what you actually want to be doing instead to be noticed and actually move up in your career.
Exactly. Let's get into it. So that shift isn't subtle, Em. Like we were talking before about being busy and being valuable. What used to take hours now is just taking minutes.
Yeah.
And it's pretty confronting for people.
It actually hurts my soul. Like there's been so many times where I've had a task on my plate and it feels like, so you know sometimes when you're at work and you just get fixated on one thing and you're like, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. And then you realize everything else has been dropped off your plate. Yeah. But this is the one thing that matters. But it's also sometimes the one thing that only you see, like no one else notices you're doing this.
Yeah. And also sometimes we try and hide and we're really, really busy and we do the thing that we gravitate towards that we like doing, not the thing that we kind of should be doing as well. And so there's always that at play. And so being the person who just does all the things isn't what's going to help you anymore. It's not what's going to help you stand out. Like when people started their careers, I would say to them, in your early career, you want to be useful, you want to be reliable, and you want to be likable. But now the useful part, like I swapped that out now for being valuable because useful was code for just doing shit.
Right. So what's the difference now?
Well, now we want to be doing the right stuff, not just doing stuff.
Okay.
And we want to work out what that difference is. And it's also that in your organization or in your company that you work for, what's valuable one week might be completely different the next month.
Yeah.
And so if you're not asking the question and you're not sense checking what you're doing all the time, then you can just be stuck spinning your wheels and it's not going to get you anywhere.
And it still feels like at the same time, you're still getting burnt out. You still feel like you're doing the most. If we're always being busy and not getting anywhere with it, why do we keep doing it to ourselves?
Well, we're going to get into that because I have this theory on what's been happening. I am addicted to being busy and I had to try and like kind of break that as well. Yeah. We had this conversation before. I feel like busy has become the new small talk. Yeah. It's the new weather. Yeah. And so people are going, I'm busy. And it lands for a boring conversation, right? Because where do you go from there with it? But there's a couple of reasons why we're doing it. And I think those things have really compounded in the last, let's call it year, with all the things going on. We've come this far. We haven't said the AI word yet with AI. And so for now, it's not about just getting things done anymore. It's about knowing what should be done. And let's work through how to make that shift so that you're not just being stuck in busy mode, but you're getting into a mode that's a lot more productive for you and the people you work with.
The workplace is changing. Nowadays, it's not about doing more, it's about doing what actually matters. And that comes down to better skills and sharper thinking. That's where Open Universities Australia comes in. They partner with Australia's leading unis with access to thousands of online courses in one place, including postgrad degrees to level up your career. Plus, their student advisors offer free, unbiased advice on your study options and can enrol you directly into uni. Your journey starts with Open Universities Australia at open.edu.au. Okay, before we get into you basically telling us everything we need to know, can I give you my theory?
Please.
On busyness?
Yes.
So I think there's a distinct difference between being busy versus busy people.
Ooh, tell me.
I think in your career and even in your lifestyle, there are pockets of time where you should be busy, like where you're working to a deadline, when you have to do this really important thing for your company, that's when you get really busy. But I think people who like inhale busyness as their persona,
Yeah.
that is not like, you just kind of default to that just being your norm, and then you
Yeah.
never ever look busy because that's just who you are as a person.
Yes.
And I mean, like, people who are constantly like running from meeting rooms, like being frantic, like I mean, I inhaled my lunch at my desk today, but people who inhale their lunch
Yes.
really quickly and just constantly feel like they need to have the persona of being busy, so it looks like they're always doing something.
So it looks like they're valuable.
Yes. And I
Yeah.
think that kind of ruins busyness for the rest of us who just dip in and out.
Yes.
Who know that like sometimes we have to be busy and it's not a performative thing, it's just because we are. And then sometimes we have to be like feel safe in knowing our value to the company, even though it doesn't look like we're necessarily like frantically typing or talking loudly on the phone.
Yeah. I think a lot of people don't have the self-awareness to know the difference and to go, oh my gosh, I'm just like running on 1,000,000 miles an hour, running everywhere. I'm busy. Be like, yeah, but are you busy on the things that you should be?
doing?
Yes. And oh my gosh, how many of us have worked with someone and gone, what does that person do? Like, I know they're busy, but like, what do they do all day? Yes.
Oh God, I feel like people say that about me all the time.
I'm imagining people now, imagining people I used to work with.
People would be like, because I'm in here, I know people would be like, she's never at her desk. Where is she? What is she doing?
So the good type of busy that you're talking about, right, is what I would default to calling valuable. And people will be like, what does that even mean? Valuable is helping things move forward when it's unclear, messy, or stuck. And you're moving things in the right direction. Not just a direction that you want to go in, a direction that the team is meant to be going in.
Yeah.
So that's what we're talking about here.
And I think a lot of that also comes with trust, because I think the way you portray busy can also be a direct response to how you're being managed as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I've had friends who I've had like drinks with, and they've told me that part of their job was like the manager didn't really understand their role. So I have so many thoughts on that. But but they were saying that one day they had to come in and then like list everything they do from 9 to 5 in like time slots.
Stop.
And they were like, it was the busiest day of my life because doing that took out so much time of my day to actually do my work.
Someone made them do that?
Yeah.
Wow. There wasn't a lot of trust in that team, was there?
Not a lot of trust in that team, but like it was just kind of funny listening to her over drinks. And she was just like, and then I had to do my whole job after I did my list of things that I do.
Wow. When I hear that situation, I go, okay, the manager clearly doesn't think they're working on the most important thing. And maybe they don't know what the most important thing is to their manager, and they haven't had that conversation.
Probably.
So there's a lot of people spinning their wheels.
My friend should have had drinks with you and not me, because I was like, that sucks. I was like, oh, hate to be you.
So next, what we're going to get into are the 3 traps. Because as I said to you, I'm a little bit addicted to being busy, and I've had to break that. And I've been observing and kind of reading things and talking to people about what are the traps and why we get into it. And you were talking about this before, like theories around why. So let's help people get stuck out of busy mode and then actually get to know why they're doing it so they can stop it. I think there's 3 reasons why we default to busy. And
I love it when you give me a list. Like I've missed this so much about biz is like our little checklist that we get.
I have to just like summarize it, like observe all the things and then go, okay, what are the buckets? What are the 3 areas? And this is based on observation. It is not scientific fact. It is based on all the doers and the high performers and people I've worked with and some of the things that they've been doing and why I think they default to like this busy mode and busy mindset. Maybe I've done a couple of these myself, so they might be a little bit confronting.
From my personal diary.
Dear diary, from my journal, here's what happened today. The first one is busy feels like control. And I think right now, when so many things feel uncertain in not just at work, in the world and everything that's going on, people really double down on being useful and they double down on what they know already. Yeah. And it gives them this sense of control and something they can point to, like, I did this, I'm in charge of this, I contribute in this way. And it feels quite reassuring in a world of things that you can't control.
Yeah. And I think
you can't control your output.
Sometimes where that goes a bit wrong is like if you, and there's like no right or wrong to this, but from experience, there's been times where I feel like I've contributed a lot to a certain project, but in hindsight, it wasn't that much at all.
Yeah.
It was just like a little bit. And then when they're like acknowledging people who like worked on the project, if my name's not mentioned, I'm like, oh, that was my whole life. I put so much work into
Did
that.
you not see what I did?
This and this and this and
Yeah.
this. But then there's someone who's done this and this and this and this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
And then I don't see that. They don't see what I've done. And I
Mm.
think it's like that disconnect where you feel like you've poured your heart into something and that's only a tiny blip in someone else's progress on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you don't have that visibility, right?
Yeah.
And the control thing is really interesting because, we were saying before, you're talking about the to-do list. Sometimes we choose the thing that we gravitate towards, the thing that's easiest, the thing that makes us feel good. And we're doing it to avoid the other stuff, right? And so when I talk about busy being a way to feel more in control, like I did a website rebuild the other month and I
Just casually did a website rebuild.
I wasn't
You know what I did the
doing
other month? Nothing. I did zero things the other month.
I was working with a team on a website rebuild and I was feeling out of control on something else. And so I, like you, poured my heart and soul into it was the wrong shit. I was like finicking over like the arrow doesn't quite go there. It goes here. I would have been so painful to work with. Thank God it's live and it's done now. But it gave me a sense of control and I could kind of see myself doing it in the moment. I'm like, what are you avoiding? What are you avoiding right now to be obsessing about the arrows on the website?
Yes.
The other one I'd say is busy is really visible to you. And I think this is what you were saying before around like the project and being acknowledged for things.
Yeah.
There is a massive team project going on, but what you're working on is not necessarily visible to others. And so you might go, I've done all of this, and you have no idea what the other person is contributing. And it's quite closely related to the control thing, right? But sometimes to others, it can look like you're just spinning your wheels and you're doing it on the finicky stuff, the arrows on the website. And it's a lot of activity, but not really impact activity.
Yeah. So
You know
it could
what I
be
mean
like
by
if you're working on a
Yeah.
group presentation and you're like, it took me so long to find this font, guys. You have no idea.
Oh my gosh. That was me.
And they're like, yeah, but you didn't put any information in it.
There's no information here.
And you're like, but look at the color palette.
How good does it look, right? Can someone give this a round of applause right now?
Yeah.
I tied it all together, put a bow on it. So yeah, it's the impact work versus the I'm kind of spinning my wheels around the edges, but I did something, right?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
God.
And the other one, which this probably feels a little bit confrontational, is busy becomes a bit of a safety net. And I think we've all been here at some point, and I alluded to it earlier. Sometimes we bury ourselves in busy work because it lets you avoid taking a position on something. It lets you avoid having a tough conversation. You're like, oh, I can't possibly, do that today. I'll make excuses for not giving that feedback because I'm busy doing this thing. It lets you avoid making a decision. If you're having a time in your career where you're going, I don't know what to do next. You're like, I'll just bury myself in the busy work and maybe I'll sort that out in a couple of months. Yeah. And so we kind of try to stay useful without being exposed to anything else or any of the hard stuff. And I think it's really important to ask yourselves in those moments, like, am I being busy to avoid something else that I really don't want to do? And am I using it as a bit of an escape?
Yeah. It's also like person dependent. Like sometimes you can get someone who's the absolute opposite.
Yeah.
I'm one of the opposite ones.
Yeah.
Where I sometimes like busy work does scare me.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's important.
Yeah.
Like doing the little things that no one else is doing is really important.
Yeah.
And I leave all my little things.
God, I feel that way about emails.
Oh, don't.
Oh.
Should I show
sorry
you? Should I show? No.
Oh, I hate when people send me emails.
I need to show you.
Show me, please.
How many emails I have unread in my inbox right now.
This will make me panic.
21,302.
Stop. Okay. That's busy work.
Our producer's telling us to break because I think Lisa needs a moment after hearing that. So as you know, I'm not very busy with the emails, but I do actually have a theory on busyness in general.
Yeah.
And this is more me trying to save myself in my workplace.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think there's a distinct difference between people who are busy and busy people.
Yes.
Like I think there are people who in their careers and in their lifestyle and work, they dip in and out of busyness, which is what I think is good. Like you can be busy sometimes, but then you can also feel safe in your work knowing that you are valuable. So you don't have to constantly feel like you're performing to be busy.
Yeah, performative business
No.
is such a thing.
Bad. And then there's no, bad. Stop.
Don't do that.
And then there's people whose busyness is just their persona. And it's not just at work, it's lifestyle. Like you know someone, you see them at the shops and they're the person frantically running up and down the aisles, like filling their trolleys. And when that busyness comes into the workplace, even if that is your persona, it just seems so performative because if you're constantly like running from meeting room to meeting room and talking loudly on the phone and typing really loudly and aggressively,
sighing,
people are going to think the opposite.
Yes. Yeah. And there are those people, like we said, that you always come back to and you're like, what are they actually doing? Like I know they seem really busy, but what are they actually doing? And
you don't want to be that person that people are saying that about.
Yeah, and no one wants the frantic energy around. Like at some point we just have to take a breath. And if that person could just like take a pause and go, right, what am I working on? Is it valuable or is it performative right now?
Yeah.
And be really honest with yourself about that. Then yeah, we're all thinking of someone, aren't we, right now? So once you see it, you can shift it. Is effectively what we're saying here. I guess it's about bringing a lot more self-awareness into it. Up next, we'll break down what actually gets noticed and rewarded now and what to start doing differently.
Yes. So, Lise, if being busy isn't what sets you apart anymore, RIP.
I know. I'm sorry.
What can we actually do instead?
From what I've seen, there's a few clear, really small things that can make a big difference at work and they can really shift how you show up. And the good thing is none of them are really about doing more. They're just about doing it differently. So one of these is, and I've worked with some people who do this really well, say what you think should happen. There are so many people who go, I guess they create more work by not having an opinion. It's like, here's my job. What do you think? I'm like, what do you think? Yeah. So you stand out for that kind of stuff. This is what I think we should do, not like, here's the work, full stop. Give people that direction and that recommendation, and then everyone can move forward rather than someone having to come back to you and go, what do you mean by that? What do you think we should do? And it just like the work
and
just
no
keeps
one wants to take
boomeranging.
ownership of just being like, let's just do this, go do it.
And it also comes across as though you're doing work and not thinking about the next steps. You're like, well, I did this email, because I love emails. Here you go. You're like, yeah, and what do you think we should do with that? So have an opinion. Closely related, right, is once you take a position, make sure you can prioritize and filter that stuff. So not just going, I have an opinion around what it should be. You're like, yeah, that's cool, but our team goal or team direction is going this way. So that opinion is kind of zagging over here.
Save that for later.
Yeah. We all have enough noise at work, right? There's so many opinions and inputs and decisions and options and things like that. If you want to get traction, this is more about this matters, this doesn't, and this is what we should focus on. Wrap that up with your opinion. If more people could just do that to start with, make a massive difference. And you would know that from people you've worked with, right? You see it.
Oh my God. So many people have so many opinions about things that I'm just like, this does not involve me.
Yeah, and it's not important right now.
It's not important right now.
Yeah.
Can we all just move this way together?
Let's get out of the weeds or out of what happened yesterday or what could have been or should have been into what are we actually doing.
And it also comes into like the meeting hole where like there's been so many times where you're pulled into a meeting and you're like, what are we doing here?
Why am I here?
Why am I here? There's like no action after the meeting. Nothing gets done. Priorities aren't set. So you're just like, that was just a waste of my
How much
time.
longer is this going to go for? Exactly. Why does that person keep talking? Are they trying to fill the hour?
And that also looks like you're busy because you're in a meeting. So people are like, oh, she's in a meeting. She's busy.
Oh, God, I hate meetings so much. One of the things I also see is that you need to be able to explain your thinking as well so people get it and get on board. I reckon, this is a wild stab in the dark, but I think it's factual. 90%. I'll say it with confidence so it comes across as factual.
Scholarly essay.
I actually reckon 90% of the frustration, tension, work that goes round and round, performative busyness comes down to a lack of communication skills at work.
Yeah, right.
People bury things in detail. They make it really hard to follow up. They don't do their research on what people need. They come in and go, this is what we're doing, Em, so let's move forward. They're not thinking about the context of what's going on. And it's one I notice all the time. You don't necessarily have to be right anymore, right? Because who's right anyway?
Yeah.
But you need to be able to communicate your ideas and how things need to move forward so you can get people on board
Yeah.
and get things moving.
And especially if it's like ends up being like a whisper game where someone in like high up tells a manager and then they tell your manager and then your manager tells you, and by the time it reaches you, the whole thing's been completely butchered.
Yes.
So then you're doing something completely different to what originally needed to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's applied their interpretation lens on it.
Because everyone's got an opinion.
You're like, okay, opinions, good. Make sure they're lined up to what everyone is
Yeah.
actually trying to achieve.
Yeah.
Let's not just have opinions for opinion's sake. And closely aligned to that is like, just take responsibility for the work then. Like, actually give a shit about making things happen. This is one I notice all the time when I talk to different teams. They'll go, something's really off. And I'm like, has anyone said anything? Has anyone owned it? Has anyone done something about it? And then they don't, and it just sits there.
Yeah. Like the vibes are off, guys.
Yes, someone should
Oh,
do
well.
someone should do something about this. You're like, okay, well, who will it be? So when I say give a shit, those are the people who go, okay, well, this isn't working. I'll take it and run with it, and let's change it.
Yeah.
And just go through there. God, I love working with those people.
They're so much fun.
They're the best.
You're like,
yeah.
let's stop bitching and let's just fix it.
Yes, exactly right. Vent it out and then move forward.
Yeah. Have a
Everyone
Prosecco over it and then let's move forward.
And then let's keep going. Which, speaking of, like, a lot of that is aligned with change. And we were talking before about how much change is happening at work right now. I know you're a big fan of this too. You don't want to get stuck when things change. Like, a lot of people go into, but how we used to do it.
We always do it this way.
But we always do it this way. Or we used to do this and it was so much better. This is just our new reality now. And I think most people wait for things to be clear again in the change. They're like, oh, everything's changing at work. You know, I'll wait until everything's clear and then I'll make my move. And that's where you totally stall. Like, if we're talking about your career now and how you can make your career better, don't wait for the change. The people who stand out do something a lot simpler. They go, okay, so this has changed. Here's what I can do next. And they take some kind of personal ownership over it. Be that person.
Be that person.
And then, because we love talking about AI, right?
Speaking of change.
You've got to use AI as a tool, not a crutch, right? So it gives you options, but it shouldn't be just doing your work for you.
Yeah.
You need to be able to have an opinion, have judgment around it.
You need to know how to use it.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a confession.
Give me your confession.
I love AI.
That's so good. I love that you love AI, but you don't want it to destroy your experience and your judgment. And so when I say use it as a tool, not a crutch, I'll give you a story. I was talking to someone the other day and they said they were interviewing for a role. So this company was interviewing, and they said someone came in and they had done their presentation for the role using AI and they could not tell you anything about the presentation. So she had used it as a crutch, right? She'd got it to do her work and then had no experience, no judgment, no knowledge of it, hadn't reviewed it. And then went, I don't know what's in there.
Yeah.
So we want to use it to help us like you're doing.
Yeah, the crutch thing is so, because then I feel like so many people would like use it and not realize how much it's actually ruining their career if they use it as a crutch.
Yes.
I've had a friend who was taking on interviews for a new role that opened up in her team recently.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's an international company, so she was interviewing people from overseas and like, so a lot of them were over Zoom.
Yeah.
And like, she would ask a question, and she said there was about 5 people who did this in the interview process. Ask a question, they would ponder the question for an absurdly long time and then read out an answer to her. So I'm like, oh no.
Oh no. Okay, it's time for my favorite part of the episode. You know, I love a list. I love an action. I love some kind of practical outtake.
Yes.
It is time for our out. If you didn't join us last season, out is an acronym.
Yes.
And it stands for?
One useful thing. It's my favorite part of the episode. Can I go first?
Please go first.
Okay. My one useful thing is something that you said earlier on in the episode that was quite confronting to myself.
Ooh.
It's when you said, if you're fixated on a certain task and you're building a website and you're like looking at the shape of the mouse, what are you avoiding? And I do this a lot. There'll be times where I'm just like fixated on one thing, like a color of a photo, or like I do a lot of like writing like beauty articles and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, the color grading on this product shot is not right.
Yeah.
And then I spent like, oh my God, my boss is going to hate me when I say this. I spent like way too long editing a photo
Yeah.
that goes in an article, not even the feature image. And then it's because I'm avoiding everything else.
Imagine if the two of us got together, you with your color grading, me with my font and arrows. We could spend a whole day on it.
I know.
That'd be
God
amazing.
we have a producer.
All the things that we're
keeping us
avoiding,
in line.
right?
Jeez.
My one useful thing is I feel like sometimes you can read a book, listen to a podcast, whatever it is, and you hear these words like be valuable. You're like, what the F does that even mean? And how do I shortcut and really think about that in my day-to-day? And so I want to share a bit of a framework with you, which is value equals decisions plus direction plus influence. So if you're wondering if you are valuable, if you're doing something valuable, go, is this changing a decision? Is it clarifying or setting a direction? Or is it influencing an outcome?
I love that.
And if you apply that filter, you can go, okay, it gives me a bit of a sense check to go, should I keep going with this? The arrows did not make the cut on that.
The arrows did not make the cut. That is not valid.
Not at all.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Biz. We will catch you next week when we cover the 3 skills you need by 2030 to make you impossible to replace. Bye.
Bye.